Hey guys, welcome back to the Mets franchise. We're finally in the playoffs again. We got the first seed in the National League. We are playing the Miami Marlins in the NLDS. On the other side, it's San Diego taking on the Dodgers as San Diego beat Pittsburgh, swept them in both games, and Miami swept the defending champions Arizona Diamondbacks. In the AL, Texas is versing LA, and Tampa Bay is taking on Cleveland. We'll see how it all shakes up at the end of this episode. Let's take a look real quick at the Miami Marlins roster, see who we're going up against. They got a lot of the same guys. They got Sandy Alcantara, Yuri Perez, Jazz Chisholm. They got Trevor Rogers, 90 overall at this point. O'Neal Cruz. We played the Marlins twice on video in this season alone, and they have a lot of the same faces. Jesus Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, Edward Cabrera, Nestor Cortez, Phil Maton, Josh Rojas, Brian De La Cruz, AJ Puk, or Puck, Eric Swanson. They got Clay Holmes, Victor Robles too. So their team goes down. Ketel Marte, but he dropped significantly in overall, and he's only 32 years old. They did him dirty, man. He's a great player, Ketel Marte. Our lineup going into the NLDS is just a little different. India's going to lead off. Nimmo will be batting second. You got Kyle Tucker, Pete Alonso, Francisco Alvarez, Francisco Lindor, Luis Robert all the way down to 7. Brett Beatty's going to bat 8th. And Jorge Soler, our DH, is going to bat 9th. He's going to start out batting 9th against righties, but Ryan O'Hearn, who is pretty solid on the bench, he might slide in there if he starts to struggle. Our pitching, Corbin Burns, although he only pitched 2 games all season, they were both against the Marlins, and he did really good both times. And we had like a week of rest since we weren't in the wild card round. He's back out there for game 1. David Peterson was probably one of our best pitchers all around, all year. He's going to pitch second, Logan Gilbert third, and Julio Urias, who I trust the least, even though we pay him all that money and he's got a good overall. He'll pitch game 4 if necessary, and he'll be our 4th starter in this playoffs. Anyway, let's get into it. We're at home. We're the 1 seed. We're feeling good. We finally had a great regular season. We finally won the NL East. This might be our year. We have the team to do it for sure. Our lineup is stacked. Our pitching is phenomenal. I mean, if we don't win this year, I really just don't know. We'd have to get better, but let's not worry about that. Let's try to focus on here. Like we said, Corbin Burns, 2 starts this season. Opening day against the Marlins, head fracture. He was out all the way to the very last game of the season where we played the Marlins. He walked the leadoff batter, but double play is going to get him out of that early jam. Easy first inning for Corbin Burns. We're going up against Yuri Perez. He's 1-0 this postseason so far. Won one of the games against Arizona. Pitched great, 7 innings, only 1 earned, so he was phenomenal, 11 strikeouts. Brandon Nimmo's up, 1 out. He's not leading off, but it's postseason Brandon Nimmo, so he's hitting home runs. That ball is fair, it's gone, and it is gone. Keeps it inside the pole, upper deck shot. Brandon Nimmo does it again in the postseason. If you guys remember last year, if you don't go back, he hit leadoff home run after leadoff home run against the Braves, and then against the Cubs, he was just hitting playoff home runs like crazy, and he's back already, starting off strong. His first at-bat of this postseason is a long home run. Mets taking early, 1-0 lead. What a shot from Nimmo, as we'll see, because that camera angle is never great. I wish they wouldn't show that stupid camera angle. There's no way to change it, I don't think. If anyone knows how to change that, let me know. But I've looked through the settings. I don't think there is. I wish it would just show where the ball's going to go and not Brandon Nimmo's back. It kind of annoys me. But anyway, high shot. Almost left the stadium. My goodness, so high. And just fair into the upper deck. So into the second, Corbin Burns is cruising along. Strikes out De La Cruz there. We're through 2. Still up 1. In the third, we got a runner on. 2 out for Pete Alonso. 3-2 count. Runners on the move. Alonso draws a walk, so we have a rally going. First and second, 2 out for Francisco Alvarez. Another 3-2 count. Runners are going to go again, but this one is a can of corn for the left fielder out there. And we're going to end the third still up 1-0. You guys asked for longer videos, especially in the playoffs, so I'm trying to give it to you here so you guys don't miss a bit of the action. Try to take it inning by inning just to keep you guys posted on this game. Any rallies, anything like that. Corbin Burns is still dealing through 4 in the 5th. The Marlins got a guy on, 2 out, 3-2 count, but Ketel Marte's going to pop this one up. Corbin Burns is through 5, and he is pitching phenomenal. Only 1 hit given up. We only have 2 hits ourselves, but the Brandon Nimmo home run, the difference in the game so far. In the 5th, we finally get a guy on for Kyle Tucker, and Tucker's going to rip one base hit. We got first and second, 2 out, so we finally get a rally going. And Pete Alonso coming up, who was very clutch for us in last year's postseason. Hoping he can do the same in this postseason, but he'll start this one off with just a chopper to short, and the shortstop will put this one away. So still 1-0 after 5. We go into the 6th. Sebi Zavala, the former White Sox, he hits a base hit in a right field. We got 1 on, 1 out for Josh Rojas, 3rd time through the order, and Rojas rips one to right and long gone into the upper deck. Corbin Burns was pitching fantastic, and just like that, a bloop and a blast, you would say. Although the Zavala base hit wasn't a bloop, but it wasn't the hardest hit ball in the world. And then that moonshot, 401 feet, that ball was smoked, crushed into the upper deck, and just like that, the Marlins had the lead, and we would actually take Corbin Burns out of the game at this point. You know, like we said, he didn't pitch a lot of innings in the regular season, so maybe we pushed him a little too far. Ron Marinaccio coming out of the bullpen, he had a great season, but the very next batter is Jordan Groshans. First batter Marinaccio faces, and he gives up a home run solo shot, barely makes it out of here. Back-to-back jacks from Miami, and just like that, it's 3-1 Marlins. And all of a sudden, this game has done a complete 180 as the Marlins take the lead. In the 7th, we got one of our most reliable relievers, Dylan Coleman. He's going to get out of the 7th, so we're still 3-1 going to the bottom half of the 7th. Can we do anything here in the bottom of the 7th? We got nobody on, nobody out. Lead off Brett Beatty, and he's going to smack one deep to right field. No doubt about it. Home run. Cuts the Miami lead to 1. So 3-2 Marlins here in the 7th. Brett Beatty coming alive in the postseason. That's what he does. Did that as well last year at a very good clip. And we need some more insurance. Who is it? It's Brandon Nimmo. What's he going to do? No doubt home run again for Brandon Nimmo. That's all he does in the postseason is hit clutch home run after leadoff home run usually, because that's what he does. But it's his 2nd home run of the game. Ties this game at 3. Brandon Nimmo is unbelievable when we get to October. What a clutch shot. This game's tied up just like that. 3-3 in the 7th. That's all we would get in the 7th inning, though. But you see here, Brandon Nimmo. Wow. Let's see where this one landed this time, because, again, you can't see it. You got to really squint your eyes to see where that landed, but short of the bridge out there in right center. Like I said, that's all we get in the 7th. In the 8th, Stephen O'Kurt, who had another fantastic season. Another one of our relievers who had a fantastic season, and he gets out of the 8th, so we're still tied. In the 8th, Pete Alonso leading off 3-2 count. He draws another walk, so he's seeing the ball well. He's getting on base. Next batter, Francisco Alvarez. Can he come through? Grounded through the hole in the right side. That's a base hit. We got first and second. Nobody out. We got something cooking here in the 8th. We need to get this run home. And go ahead, run. Next batter, Francisco Lindor strikes out. Swinging high fastball. We're panic swinging. This is not good. Next batter, Luis Robert. He flies out to left. That's not going to be nearly deep enough for slow Pete Alonso to tag. Now, first and second, no out to first and second, 2 out. Brett Beatty, last chance of the inning, and he's going to rip one up the middle for a base hit. Pete Alonso's going to round third. Screw it. There's 2 outs. The throw is offline, and the tag is not in time. Pete Alonso scores, and we take the lead after a clutch 2-out go-ahead base hit from Brett Beatty. So Brett Beatty and Brandon Nimmo, our whole offense this game has been those 2 clutch hits. Soler would be the next batter, but he would fly out to center. So we're going to the 9th, up by 1. And, of course, that means it's Edwin Diaz time in Queens, as he was 48 for 55 in save ops, 2.20 ERA. Very, very solid season. First batter, Jordan Groshans, 1-2 count. He goes down swinging high fastball. No chance. Next batter, Jazz Chisholm Jr., 2-2 count. The pitch swung on and missed. 1 out away from winning game 1, as it's the scary O'Neal Cruz 3-2 count, and he's going to draw a walk, not chasing that slider. So it's never easy. Always got the tying run on base when Edwin Diaz is closing the game. But next batter is Jesus Sanchez, going to chop one to first, and Pete Alonso will take it himself. And the Mets win game number 1, come from behind win, as we looked in control early but couldn't get any extra runs. Marlins took a 3-1 lead after some back-to-back homers, and we stormed back. Brandon Nimmo and Brett Beatty obviously the co-players of the game in this one, as they were a whole offense. They willed us to that win. And great pitching performance from Corbin Burns. Couldn't quite finish the sixth, but he was pretty solid throughout. 1-0 series lead at home. All right, let's go into game number 2. David Peterson is on the mound. He was 17-4 this season, among the league leaders in wins and one of the fewest in losses as well. 3.29 ERA was fantastic. Not as good down the stretch, but last couple starts he got that ERA down. But in the first, it's Jazz Chisholm going deep to right center field. That ball's gone. Line drive, home run with 2 outs in the first. Marlins taking early 1-0 lead, and we've seen this home run trot a few times. If you followed the Yankees franchise, we had him there, and he did this home run trot quite a bit. So we're used to seeing that. Yep, we could have gone without it in this franchise, but it's all right. 1-0 early on. Next batter, O'Neal Cruz. He goes down swinging. So the Marlins would only get 1 in the first, and they would be throwing out Sandy Alcantara, who also had a great start against Arizona in their wild card series. He went 6 in the third, and he only gave up a run as well. In the third, Marlins got a guy on, 1 out. It's the David Peterson, though, getting Josh Rojas to ground out 4-6-3 double play. So that would end the third inning rally. Our bottom half of the third, we got a guy on with 1 out. Brandon Nimmo's going to draw a walk and get on base again. First and second 1 out for Kyle Tucker. He hasn't done much this postseason. He's going to ground to first. This could be 2 to second for 1. Back to first. It's a double play, and that rally is killed. End of the third, still down 1-0. Jumping to the fifth now. David Peterson is going to give up a long fly ball to Jesus Sanchez. Kyle Tucker's going back. He's at the track. He leans up against the wall and makes a tough play, so saves extra bases. And David Peterson's through 5, only 1 earned run. Bottom half of the fifth, Luis Robert. He grounds one inside the bag. I think that might have hit the bag in the left field for a leadoff single. So finally we get a guy on again. Brett Beatty, next batter. Can he stay hot? He draws. Oh, that's a wild pitch. Goes all the way to the backstop. Luis Robert goes to second. We got a guy on second. Nobody out. And a 3-2 count for Brett Beatty. The 3-2. Can he check his swing? He does check his swing. Walk for Brett Beatty. First and second. Nobody out. Jorge Soler chops to short. Oh boy, is this 2 again? There's 1. There's 2. Nice turn by O'Neal Cruz at short. And Ketel Marte at second. And my goodness, we're just killing rallies with all these double plays. Jonathan India, 2 outs. He just grounds to third. Another chance squandered because of a double play. In the sixth, this would be the last batter for David Peterson, as he's going to get Victor Robles to ground out to second. 6 innings, only 1 earned in that first inning home run to Jazz Chisholm. Fantastic performance from David Peterson. He definitely pitched well enough for us to win, but we could not hit. Let's see if we can turn that around in the 6th inning. 1 out, base hit for Kyle Tucker. Next batter is going to be Pete Alonso, of course, and can he finally come through in the postseason here with a big clutch hit? He can. That's ripped into the gap. It's going all the way to the wall. It's going to be misplayed by the center fielder. Goes right under his glove, hits the wall, kicks away, and that allows Kyle Tucker to score easily. And the Mets have tied this game in the 6th with a clutch double, rope double from Pete Alonso. And he's on second with 1 out. Francisco Alvarez trying to bloop one in to right, but the right fielder's going to come on and make the play. So Pete Alonso will stay at second. And Francisco Alvarez, our last hope in the 6th, but he's going to fly out to right. So this game is tied at 1, though. At least we tied it, but we couldn't get that runner in from second with less than 2 outs. In the 7th, Jonathan Loaizaga on the mound. He's going to work a nice, clean, easy 7th inning. We'll go to the bottom half, still tied at 1. It's Luis Robert leading off against Clay Holmes, and Luis Robert grounds one up the middle, and it's going to be a base hit, or Neil Cruz does a good job of keeping it in the infield, but it's another base hit for Luis Robert. It's Brett Beatty. Let's see if he can stay hot. The runner was going on that 3-2 count, so that avoids the double play, but it's a ground out. It's a ground out, and the runner moves over. We did pinch hit Jorge Soler because he hasn't done anything yet for Ryan O'Hearn. See if Ryan O'Hearn could do something with the runner on second. He cannot. Flies to shallow left, and our runner cannot tag. Luis Roberts got some speed, but is way too shallow in left field. So we got another runner on second for 2 out. Jonathan India up again. That's a wild pitch all the way to the backstop again from Miami pitching. That goes to the wall. Clay Holmes is known for that, when he's not on. So we got a runner 90 feet away, 2 outs. Jonathan India strikes out swinging, though. That was a nasty slider, actually. Can't be mad at Jonathan India for that. But we leave another guy stranded. In the 8th, Scott Barlow was on. He had to run around, but he works out of the 8th inning. So we're going to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 1. And look who it is. John Curtis, former Met, one of our best relievers last year, who didn't want to I tried to re-sign him. I mean, I didn't give him crazy money or anything, but no, he just didn't re-sign. Decided to go to Miami instead. Had a fantastic season, only 22.2 innings, but a sub-1 ERA. It's Brandon Nimmo. Is he going to come through again? He's going to hit one deep in a left center field. This one's going back. Left fielder and the center fielder going back. They look up. Left fielder tries to make the play. He can't. Overruns the ball, tries to get back to it. Brandon Nimmo's rounding third. He's going for an inside the park home run. The throw home is not in time. It's a go-ahead inside the park home run from Brandon Nimmo. This guy is insane in the playoffs. And just like that, the 8th inning again, we get a go-ahead run, and it's in the form of an inside the park home run. Everything just worked out perfectly. Went over his glove. He had to hold himself against the wall and try to retract the ball. Wow, magnificent. So that means Edwin Diaz on for the 9th to try to take a commanding 2-0 series lead. He gets Josh Rojas swinging. Victor Robles, next batter. He gets him swinging. We're 1 out away from taking a 2-0 series lead here in the DS. Scary Jess Chisholm's the next batter. He ropes one past Lindor into the gap for a base hit. He's going to second. He's going to be in there. It's a 2-out double, tying run at second. Yet again, never easy with Edwin Diaz. Never. Next batter, O'Neal Cruz. He walks. Another walk he draws against Edwin Diaz in this series. We got first and second for the scary Ketel Marte. That pitch hits him, but he goes around and swings at the nasty slider. And this game is over just like that on a hit by pitch, really. But Ketel Marte couldn't hold up, and it's strike 3. Mets win it again. Another close game, another 1-run game against Miami, and it took another 8th inning run for us to get the win. What a 2-game stretch here at home. It's just like that. We're 1 win away from the NLCS, and let's see if we can finish off the sweep in Miami as we have Tyler Rogers to get through, as he was 10-9 with a 4.10 ERA. Not terrible, but also not great, but he is a good pitcher, obviously, in this game. Let's see if we can do anything in the first inning, as Jonathan India is going to lead this game off. Not having a particularly great postseason so far in the first 2 games, but it's going to be a base hit up the middle. So lead off base hit, and you know who's up next, Brandon Nimmo. Is he going to come through yet again? Let's find out. That one's chopped to first. That's a base hit underneath the diving first baseman's glove. We got first and second, nobody out here in the first inning. Kyle Tucker up now. What's he going to do? Up the middle? No. Pitcher snags it. It's another double play in this series. My goodness. Just rally killer after rally killer with all these double plays. Can Pete Alonso clean up and get us this run? He hits one deep into center field. Chisholm's going back, but he will make the catch. At first and second, no out, and we do not score yet again. So a lot of double plays in this series. We've got Logan Gilbert on the mound. He's been fantastic for us ever since we got him at the trade deadline. And he's going to hope to do more of the same here in Game 3 and send us to the NLCS. In the first inning, it's Jordan Groshans. 1 out, nobody on. He gets a base hit up the middle. O'Neal Cruz, a couple batters later. It's 2 out at this point. And he's going to rip one into right field for a base hit. So now Miami has first and second. 2 out for Jesus Sanchez. Jesus Sanchez is going to ground to short. And Lindor will flip to second and end that rally in the first. So Logan Gilbert out of the first, no score. In the second, Francisco Lindor, 2 out, nobody on. He's going to rip one deep to right field, going back to the right fielder, but it's going to one-hop off the wall. Lindor is going to go to second and just make it in there. That's a good relay from Miami. But it's a 2-out double for Francisco Lindor. That brings up Francisco Alvarez, and he's going to ground one to second, and this inning will be over. So we get another guy in scoring position, but we can't score him. In the third, Brett Beatty trying to stay hot. He'll do just that. It's a base hit up the middle. Him and Brandon Nimmo having a great postseason so far in this Marlins series, that's for sure. Jonathan India is the next batter, and he's going to continue being hot in this game at least. That's his second base hit of the game already in the third inning. We got first and second, nobody out yet again. Let's see if we can finally come through This time we got the right guy up for it. It's Brandon Nimmo, and Nimmo rips one. The right fielder's not going to catch that one. The runners are going to go, and it's gone. It clears the wall. He's done it again. His 4th home run of the series. His 4th home run in 3 games against Miami, and he's absolutely carrying us right now. My goodness, Brandon Nimmo in the postseason is just a cheat code. Anyway, in the 4th, it's Jazz Chisholm leading off, and he hits one deep to left center field, and that just missed. Getting out of here as he gets into second with the leadoff double. O'Neal Cruz, the next batter, 1-2 count. He goes down swinging on a beautiful 12-6 curve from Logan Gilbert. Jesus Sanchez, next batter, 1-1. Taking off is Jazz Chisholm, and he's going to be in there. So now they got a runner on third, 1 out. Good play there from Jazz Chisholm to tag up, but it doesn't matter. Logan Gilbert gets another strikeout for Jesus Sanchez. And then last batter, Brian De La Cruz of the inning. He's going to rip one in the right field for a base hit. And it was shallow right, too. So good thing Jazz Chisholm stole third, or else he would not have scored. Marlins get one back. It's 3-1. In the 5th, Jonathan India is going to get his 3rd hit of the game here, smoking one in the right center field gap. It's going all the way to the wall. It's going to be a leadoff double. And you know who's up next? Brandon Nimmo. Is he going to be able to come through this time? He's not. We're going to skip his at bat. I think he just flew out or something. Kyle Tucker, though, draws a walk. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. We've had 1st and 2nd a lot this series, and we've had a lot of double plays. A couple batters later, though, be 1st and 2nd, 2 out for Soler, and Soler's just going to ground to short. So another rally cut short because we can't get the runner in scoring position home. Anyway, in the 6th, Marlins threatening. They got a guy on, nobody out. But another strikeout of O'Neal Cruz. He's pissed off. He's throwing the bat. He's frustrated. He keeps striking out. Logan Gilbert's making him look silly. Jesus Sanchez again going down swinging on a fastball. 8th strikeout of the game at that point, Logan Gilbert. And then Brian De La Cruz, this time he's not going to come through. Bloops on the right. Kyle Tucker's going to run in and make the catch. Logan Gilbert's through 6, only 1 earned, and 6 hits. In the 7th, got a guy on for Kyle Tucker. He smokes one in the gap. Let's see where this one's going to go. It is going to one hop over the wall, and we're going to get screwed out of another. That's like the 3rd or 4th time this season that we've hit a ground rule double that would have easily scored there. I swear that's never happened that much until this season. Anyway, they're going to intentionally walk Pete Alonso. They want no part of him. They want the struggling Soler, even though he's pitching a lefty. Hits one hard down the line, but the third baseman makes a beautiful diving stop and still has time to pick it up and throw Soler out at first. Saved a couple runs there, but it was a nice hit from Soler. In the 7th, it's Dylan Coleman, all reliable, gets a double play to get out of the 7th inning. He's been doing great all season. Keeps that up in the 2 games he's pitched in this series. In the 8th, Luis Robert gets us some insurance. That ball, a hanging slider, my goodness, that hung up way up there. Top of the zone with that slider. You can't throw that to anyone, especially not Luis Robert. Smokes at 424 feet. First home run of the postseason, of the series, obviously. And it's 4-1 New York. Andres Munoz finally getting some playoff action, as he was fantastic during the regular season as well. Had 31 saves with Seattle before we traded for him to be our setup man. He works a flawless 8th inning. 1-2-3. It was a breeze. Only a couple pitches. And he gets Jazz Chisholm to fly out to center. That means we're going to the 9th up 4-1. And that means, of course, it's Edwin Diaz time again, as he's 2 for 2 this series. O'Neal Cruz, let's see if he can finally not walk him. He finally gets some strikeout again for O'Neal Cruz. He struck out a bunch of times this game. Jesus Sanchez, next batter. Is he going to strike out again? He's not. It's actually going to rip one to left field. Nimmo goes over, though, and he's going to make the play. We're 1 out away from advancing to the NLCS. Last batter is going to be Brian De La Cruz. 1-1 count. Flies to left. Brandon Nimmo's there. He is under it, and the Mets have swept the Miami Marlins in 3 games, and they are going to the NLCS just like that. The great regular season continues into the NLDS. We're not going to be one of those 1 seeds that choke because of the long rest after the wild card round. We actually came out, I wouldn't say hot. I mean, we didn't. Both the first 2 games were only 1-run games that we had needed to come back from both of them, and now this 3rd one we were just kind of in control of the whole game, and a beautiful 4-1 win and a sweep. As you can see, we move on to the NLCS. Let's look around and see the standings. As you can see there, we will be playing the San Diego Padres. They beat the Dodgers in 5 games, so the Dodgers choke in the playoffs yet again. So this game's kind of realistic. In the American League side, I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked. The best team on paper in this franchise save is the Texas Rangers, and they lost in 4 games to the Angels. Interesting. And the Tampa Bay Rays, who never lose in this game, or not often at least, they're usually shooing for the CS. I'd be surprised if they didn't make the World Series usually, because they just sign everyone and they're always great. They lost. They got swept by the Cleveland Guardians. That is crazy. So Dylan Cease and the Cleveland Guardians are still around. There's a chance that if we beat San Diego and if the Guardians can beat the Angels, we'll see Dylan Cease in the World Series. Isn't that crazy? The guy who we didn't want to give the money to. Man, that would be a great storyline. But Angels and Cleveland in the ALCS, and we will be playing San Diego in the next episode in the NLDS and the NLCS, excuse me. If you guys like this video, again, please don't forget to drop a like. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. NLCS is coming up next. Let me know what you guys thought of the NLDS. And wow, talk about clutch. Brandon Nimmo is that guy. Brandon Nimmo? I think so.